So I'll skip the big story, but essentially this is the 3rd-year anniversary of me coming to Oklahoma. When I got here, I never had been to Oklahoma. It's a different country. I got off the plane and I looked around and there's a building and there's 5 acres of land, another building. I said, wow. So, this is a very special moment for me because I remember my level 1 when I was sitting in the chair just like you. And it was scary and a lot of stuff came up, and I was also 18. I mean, I really never thought that I'd be in this position. I really never thought I'd ever do this as a living. I wanted to be a sports agent. And then I found Robert, and I had the sessions, and really it was so life-changing for me. I said, I got to go to the seminar. So I came to Oklahoma City, and personally, I was never good at anything in my life. I picked basketball. I wanted to go to the NBA. That's every little kid's dream. Of course, I'm 5'11", I'm Jewish, and I'm white, and I have no athletic ability. So that was out of the door. Everyone else's vertical goes up, and mine was going down. So I came here not knowing what to expect. And it was amazing because, as you'll notice this week, you really begin to form a family. I mean, the people here I consider more of a family than my family, and I love my family. The people here, I feel like, are there for you no matter what, and that's what you're going to really form this week, are connections. But I came here and I met people that showed me a sense of love that I never had in my life, and it's amazing. David Stewart, wherever David is, I remember you stood up a couple years ago at a level 3 and were explaining how you felt the exact same thing. So great job for forming a family with us here. But I came in and I found my FasterEFT family, and I was never good at anything, but I started to take the tools that Robert taught and I started to practice, because you'll get a lot of time to practice and work on other people. And I started practicing, and I'm like, this is kind of fun. This is pretty easy. So I started to practice FasterEFT on people that I knew. And I got back from my level 1, and I thought, well, this is kind of cool. Maybe I'll do it. And I was talking to my dad, and I said, maybe this is something that I'll do. And he said, well, wait till you get your level 3. Wait till you get your level 3, and then you can do it. And there was a part of me that said, no, I want to do it. There's some part of me that came out when I was doing my sessions. So you'll form your best friend at your level 1 that you call and talk to when you go home, trust me. And I had mine. Her name was Sharon Thompson. And I called up Sharon. I said, Sharon, I want to do this. And she said, she always calls me kiddo. She says, kiddo, you can do this. You can do this now. So I started doing swap sessions on Skype, and the goal was I wanted to do 100 hours before I saw my first client. So a month and a half into it, I did 100 hours. I did 50 clients. I worked with a lot of level 2 and level 3s. So when you're swapping, my advice to you is do that, because I'd work with these higher level practitioners and I'd say, critique me. What did I do wrong? And then I'd say, be hard on me. And I'd get every little thing that I did wrong, and I'd write it down, and I'd think about it, and I'd record it, and I'd say, okay, I could do this differently and this differently and this differently. And then I'd watch Robert and pick up some more techniques. And what was so cool is I'll always remember my first client. I was 18 years old. I was still in high school. And I went to this gal's house. She'd been raped 8 times. Here it is. I'm 18 years old. I just got my level 1 certification. I've been doing this a month and a half. And I went to her house. I drove into the house session, a house call. And I got to her house with a level 1 certification, which all you guys will have, or as Laura says, all y'all will have at the end of the week. And we flipped every one of the 8 memories. And her whole life had changed. Walking out of that house that day, there was a sense of gratification. There was a sense of accomplishment that I never had in my life. And from then on out, it seemed like things started to take off. But again, this is a journey, and it's such an amazing journey, because that first session then led me to another client and another client. And before you knew it, I started having people calling me. And I'm thinking, wow, I'm a freshman in college. I'm doing stuff in my dorm. And my business literally grew in my dorm. I'd sit in my bed with the wall, so it looked like I had some decent backdrop. And I'd put my earphones on and I'd do sessions. And sometimes my roommate would be there. He'd be playing on Facebook. And I'd be saying, let it go. Good job. Like Robert, And sometimes I'd say some PPP, and you'll learn what that is this week. And he'd look over at me like, what are you saying? You know what I mean? But it's really given me a passion. It's given me a career in life. Now, again, where I started, and I'll tell just a little bit of my story, I never thought I'd be here today. I used to be afraid of this thing. There's nothing here. I feel like Robert says, you guys are all my friends. You all love me and support me. But my story is unique because I didn't have big T trauma. Again, no rape, no physical abuse, none of that stuff. It, for me, started on the playground. And as we learn, we do form belief systems about how the world works. And we do have things that happen to us, and we hold on to that stuff, and we replay the same patterns. And I still replay some, and that's why Kim and Dave are going to clean me up in about 10 minutes. But I came into this work, and the biggest thing for me was I had this ex-girlfriend of mine that I couldn't get over. And I remember Robert called. I called him. I said, I want to work on a couple things, but this relationship was so big, and I felt so much guilt and shame and anger, I couldn't even tell him what it was. And I remember leaving the first session with him, and not only, as I said on Saturday, did the world look light and bright for the first time, but I thought that this thing that was so big, it wasn't that big of a deal. And that was pretty amazing. And after the 3 sessions, the world looked light. There was a connection with human beings. I remember I'm a very, music does it for me. I'm very in tune with music. So I listen to music and I form associations. So when I started this work, I had 500 songs on my iPod. I had to delete every one of them. I couldn't listen to any of them because I felt so bad all the time. And I remember I finished my sessions with Robert, and my dad and I went to Vegas. And the whole ride, I put every song on that 5-hour ride, and I tapped through every song until I made peace with every song and I could listen to every song. And sometimes in the car, Robert will have the same song as I used to listen to, and I said, that used to depress me. It doesn't depress me anymore, So, not to go on too long, but it started in high school. It started as a senior, and now here it is. I'm a junior in college, and I've been able to make a living and a career off of this, and I want to do more and help more people. And it's going to be an amazing journey for each and every one of you. And the advice I give is, you're going to hit plateaus. I hit plateaus. He hits plateaus. It is going to get hard sometimes because your stuff's going to show up, and you're going to want to quit sometimes. And thank God I have Alan Combe's there who can get my head straight when my head's up my ass too far, and he pulls it out, But this week for you is really about forming connections, and it's really about doing your own work, and it's really about getting as clear as you can be, because we have about 100 people in this room, and we can help change the whole world. So my advice is go back home, practice, do your work, get your sessions, form relationships in the community. And in 3 years, you'll be standing up here and you'll say, my life's totally changed. Because I never thought back when I was 17, I never thought that it would be this good, ever. I thought I would peak out where I was about a year ago. And I've peaked that many times, and the cycle just completes itself. So I'm happy for all of you guys. I'm happy to meet you guys. I'm happy you guys are here. This is going to be an amazing journey. You're in really good hands. Learn a lot. Tap. And if you do get stirred up, we have practitioners in the back. As I've told many of you, come up to me. If you're in your stuff, I'll do a couple rounds on you. I will help you get out of your stuff so you can come back in and be open to learning. So it's going to be a great week. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for giving me a career and giving me a passion. One last story I remember, and this will cap it off for you guys. I found this TV show right before I found Robert, and I really connected with the main character because in the first pilot episode, this guy's given a second chance at life, and this was before I met Robert. And one of the opening scenes is he's an ex-CIA guy, and he's given this new job where he gets to save people. And his boss that hires him says, his name is Mr. Reese in the show, he says, Mr. Reese, what I think you need is, I don't think you need a job. I think you need a purpose. And that day there was something inside of me that really clicked. And I spent about a month and a half thinking, what's my purpose? What's my purpose? And I found my purpose thanks to you. So thank you.
set me